Welcome to Blaine, Minnesota, where we are in the first day of pool play at the U.S. Open. I'm Emmy Fitzgerald with Liam Grant, where Buzz Bullets out of Japan are taking on San Francisco Revolver. So we have two perennial powers. Liam, the reigning national and world champs, Revolver, versus the Buzz Bullets, who have been very strong on the worldwide and national scene in their country, but not for the past year or so.
Yeah, they've been on holidays for a little while. We won't go into too much detail as to why they were in hiatus, but yeah, they won the World Ultimate Club Championships way back in 2006 in Perth, and now we have the current World Ultimate Club champions here in the men's division, Revolver. So two powerhouses, as you said, going at it, and possibly the best men's team from outside of the US. Anyway, I'm sure there's a few others in the debate, GOAT in there as well, lots of others, but I think this is a matchup the world has been craving for quite some time. As commentators, we were definitely craving it. Some names we haven't seen since the World Ultimate Guts Championships, where Japan and USA went toe-to-toe. Many players here on both rosters at that great showdown, one of the best games in men's Ultimate. And yeah, they both come off 2 games just now.
Yes.
We've had Buzz Bullets losing their opening game to Pony, 14-9. Not a lot of people would call that, but we all know Pony have a strong roster this year with the likes of Mikkel and Kocher. Then you also have a win over Truck Stop, 15-9. Revolver taking care of business, 2-0, with a 15-10 win over Pony, I believe, and then 15-9 win over, or 15-10 win over Double Wide. And I heard that Double Wide have actually small roster. Speaking with Greg Cohen before the game, and he's like, I think they only had 14 players or something. They said they played half of Double Wide, maybe just wide.
They played a single wide today. And that's one of the challenges. Revolver, again, the reigning national champion and world champion, they competed at World Ultimate Club Championships just 2 weeks ago. But for a lot of teams, that's a lot of time off and additional expense. So we've seen that from other teams having more limited rosters. However, Revolver has brought nearly their full squad out today. They're in yellow. Buzz Bullets wearing the royal blue, coming out of Tokyo, Japan.
And you know, this is pretty much a must-win game for Buzz Bullets. If they want to try and make semis and finals, they've already lost 1 game. Now going up against the best team in the world, supposedly anyway, current champions. So they find themselves in a sticky position already this Friday afternoon. And interestingly, before the game, we also have Fury playing in the other showcase field against Molly Brown. They're also sporting this kind of yellow sunflower orange jersey. Coincidental, that's what I've been told, but unusual for 2 Bay Area teams to have such bizarre colors.
I love that color combination, that light blue and the yellow, that more golden color together. And Revolver will pull Buzz Bullets to receive to start off the game. This is the only day of pool play for the International Club Championship division. Tomorrow goes into brackets and subsequent play other bracket games if you don't make it into the championship.
And looking at the rosters here, for Buzz Bullets, it says the height mismatches. The shortest player being 5'5", the tallest player being 5'6". I don't know if someone just copy and pasted that, but that's what it's saying.
So Buzz Bullets immediately looking for the end zone. That's hanging, and with 1 pass, Kurono gets the goal to put the first points on the game right away.
I don't know if there's a record for quickest point in the game of Ultimate, but that's got to be up there. They were wasting no time. Classic Japanese offense. You see, putting a little bit of blade on that throw so it doesn't hang up, doesn't allow Spear to chase that one after. And you can see, easy goal, catches in the front of the end zone, waste no time. That's what you want to do when your first 0 point, settle the nerves.
So no time at all. I don't even know if the stall count got to 5 before that throw went off. So immediate points on the board for Buzz Bullets, and that's what we've seen success with Japanese teams on the whole. If they are able to maintain their offensive holds, then they start to work things through to try and get breaks. The breaks don't come easily from Revolver, but we did see a couple breaks occur in total at WUCC.
Yeah, I think it was just got broken once in that final. They broke Connolly twice, and that's pretty much how they won the game. And I think what we're really excited about watching Buzz Bullets is actually their defense. We saw them at the Japan team of the World Ultimate Guts Championships playing that half-court defense. A lot of flashes in the lane. You see them here, nobody on the mark.
You see a lot of spacing with the hammer going over the top, the far sideline. Cox over to Marcy. Buzz Bullets staying in, it's a person look, but a little bit of sagging off of the mark. Layout bid, but Stubbs is able to connect with it. And getting closer to the end zone, lots of control. Lindsley, nice fake, looking for his different options. Marcy comes charging towards the disc.
And it looks like Japan have transitioned to a little more honest defense now. A call coming from the sideline.
Schluckett falls but stays inbounds. Right with the hammer over the top. Looking for that conversion. Stubbs to Friedman. Back over to Stubbs, and that is signaled not in. Swarming from the Buzz Bullets. Instead, will reset to Marcy. Stubbs now more at midfield. Low release. Finds Lindsley unguarded, and it took more passes, but Revolver maintains the hold.
No turn offense from both teams, and again, just so fascinating watching the Japanese players play defense. As the pull was caught, went to the first player, and there's just nobody on the force, and they're okay with that. They're all stealing looks throughout the game. You see them a flash of a Japanese player trying to get that D, doesn't get there. Force Revolver 2 cross-field hammers. And they look a little confused sometimes. I think that's part of their style of defense, you know? Put no one on the force, and sometimes that just startles people, or they feel they need to do something drastically or try and do something out of the ordinary because they've no mark on them. But Revolver stayed patient, worked it up very well, and Joel Schlockett getting lots of touches on the disc, and he's been a standout player for me over the last few years. Top scorer at Revolver at the World Ultimate Club Championships, top scorer for the USA team at World's Ultimate Guts Championships. And you know, you don't hear that much about him. He was kind of a faceless warrior until that Worlds, or at least for a lot of people not in the Bay Area. But he should be in the debate for best in the world, just how consistent he is. He scores lots of goals, gets lots of touches, runs the show on the best team in the world in the men's division. And yeah, he done very well in that last point.
Another stalwart for the Revolver team is Cassidy Rasmussen, who just pulled the disc. The last offensive point, Buzz Bullets had 1 pass to score. Looks like it will be more than that here. 3 handlers back. Far sideline, centering to Kichikawa. Moving over to Matsuno. Very well-known Japanese player. Matsuno checks back in. Underneath to Arakawa. Shooting deep, 2 receivers. But Kamimura runs into it. And that's another hold from the Buzz Bullets.
Exquisite IO flick throw here. I see it come from the initiation play. Nice pop pass. And this one was just on the money. A low hawk cutting into the wind, weighted to perfection, and either of those Japanese receivers could have caught that one. And Revolver maybe to respect that deep space a little more, getting caught out twice going deep. They feel, oh, we have the height advantage, maybe we should force them to throw deep, but their throws are so good, they're so fast. You want to make them have more passes, because it looks like, again, no turnover so far, but maybe the Buzz Bullets tormenting the other team more so on defense so far.
You definitely see that swarming look much more so from Buzz Bullets. So far, 2 different defensive strategies resulting in different offensive outcomes as the Revolver O-line back on the field. Furuzawa to pull for Buzz Bullets. Centered, Friedman. You can see far off the disc, looking for another hammer, that far side of the field, to Higgins. Resets into tight spaces to Friedman. Continues that reset to Higgins. Gains yards up the line to Lindsley. Lindsley closed in, but Buzz Bullets are there. First break opportunity, quick, fast shot to the end zone. A little too much speed on it for Furuzawa.
Katsuta there coughing up a great opportunity for a break. The zone doing well to confuse this Revolver offense, but they have the disc back now.
And Lindsley, he shoots. Looking overhead, that pass is floating right into the hands of Lucas Dolman. And Revolver, despite 1 turnover, still manages to convert.
Yeah, you got to savor any of those break opportunities. There's not going to be many in this game, or at least that's what I'm thinking. That is a beautiful flick hook, and I'm surprised to see Lucas Dolman on the O-line. Has played a lot of D-line in the past. Maybe bringing him on to combat that zone offense, because he's quite a good give-go player, good decision maker. So maybe that's what they're doing, adjusting their offense to essentially a zone offensive line, expecting the Japanese to play like that. But yeah, they had 1 turn and it came from confusion.
And that's the type of confusion the Buzz Bullets are trying to create. But to your point, creating the confusion is one thing. Converting off of it is a very difficult task, especially against Revolver.
Yeah, Katsuta was upset with himself having thrown that turnover. The hook was on. He just maybe needed to wait a second, settle himself. There was time to get it off.
Yeah, his receiver had that spacing to throw it. So we're tied at 2s. No breaks for either team so far. And that pull lands just out of bounds. We'll go to the brick mark. Liam, you've played with game advisors and observers. Is that a tough transition between the 2?
It's actually not too bad. You kind of forget, oh, this is a binding call, or you expect them to do inactive calls, but you get used to it pretty fast.
And a bounce off the hands gives Revolver a break opportunity inside of half field.
And that was Matsuno with the drop. He was wearing sunglasses in the previous point, has them off now.
Childs Walker looking for Stubbs. Instead, he resets it to Spear. See a lot of positional defense from Buzz Bullets. Looks for that swing around. It's good. Approaching the red zone. Swing across. Michael Spear continuing. Childs Walker. A little bit of give and go. Still not in. A switch from the defense, forcing lots of passes from Revolver. A sense of urgency you can see from the team in yellow. Continues. Instead of the quick dish, it's the give and go, but there's that seal.
How?
Find the way in. That is the break. Revolver will go up 1. They have 3, Buzz Bullets 2.
Byron Liu, yeah, with a great goal there, sporting some frosted tips. few other players had at the World Ultimate Club Championships. Michael Spear also heavily involved in that D-line offense. We see the drop there from Matsuno. You know, one of the best players in the world got caught out there. Michael Spear being very involved in that D-line offense, and we saw him what sounded like break his nose at the World Ultimate Club Championships final. Not exactly sure what happened, but there was a loud thud and a lot of blood. I'm glad to see he's doing all right. Got to spend some time with some Japanese players last week on the AO All-Star Tour, and one of the things they taught me was Okina Hana, which means big nose. They told me it was a compliment. I'm not sure if they were pulling my leg, but there
are not very many Japanese people with big noses, I will say. But so it's different, at least.
Glad to see Michael Spear's nose is looking well anyway.
It is, and that he's able to play really crucial part to get that break. So Rasmussen will have the disc to pull for Revolver, trying to increase the lead by 2, but Buzz Bullets will not let that happen easily. Kichikawa underneath to Kudono. Matsuno, quick up the line, Furikado. And that is a goal. Kudono, right as he's in stride, running to the end zone, gets there.
Yeah, his second goal of the game, I believe. Big receiver for them. Better play from Matsuno on that one. Got a nice inside break, the left-handed player. Kind of generated that break side offense, allowed for those continuations to come. And good footwork from the Japanese player as well. Could have maybe landed outside the end zone, but had great awareness to be sure that one was a goal. He wants another stat on the board for himself.
And he had Nick Stewart guarding him, who is a great defensive matchup in the deep space, so instead has tighter, quicker throws and tighter cuts to get there instead. So Buzz Bullets down a break, but we are tied at 3s.
I believe Nick Stewart is familiar with the Minneapolis landscape. I do think he played with Sub-Zero before, Carleton alumni.
Right, Nick Stewart, Carleton College alum, coached the cut team previously. Stubbs underneath to Higgins. Continues. So much ups from Davis. Back to Stubbs. Quick release to Lindsley. Nearing the end zone. Higgins right at that front cone, but the strike cut had so much power behind it. George Stubbs nearly every other on that point.
Yeah, looks like Revolver have the passcode to unlock this zone now. Much quicker through it. And something to note is Antoine Davis playing on the O-line. He did the same at the World Ultimate Club Championships on the D-line in previous years. And I was maybe surprised at Worlds to see him on the O-line. One is because he's such an amazing defensive player, one of the best athletes in the game, hands down. I'm thinking maybe is that more beneficial on the D-line, but he was so stellar on that offensive line at Worlds. Did not make a step wrong. And we have someone that can be as consistent as he is and as athletic. It's a real release valve for your offense. You know, if you get high in the stall count and you can look for him, you know he's going to get free somewhere, probably the end zone. He's got huge up, so he can bail out throws. So I think it's something you're seeing more and more in Ultimate in the US. A lot of time you're like, put our best athletes on the D-line and put safe people on the O-line, but you need athletes as well, people who are going to get free and people who can win a sky battle, because it's going to happen every now and again.
Most definitely, and you even saw Davis coming in to catch that under, but you could see the vertical step that he has, even in his body control. So Buzz Bullets back on offense. Down one break to Revolver. Kikuchi going deep. There's that throw and batted out of the way. Matsuno was the intended target, but there's that Revolver defense.
John Stubbs making the big play, and it just got a flashback from that USA-Japan game a few years ago where John Stubbs got skied by a Japanese player. I think it was Matsuno, I'm not entirely sure, but he's getting one back there. Had an amazing Worlds final as well. Got to do a foot block, a hand block, another big grab in that game, and showing his defensive prowess there.
And Revolver moving the disc quickly. Liu looking underneath for Cohen. He'll reset to Liu. Find space across the field to Spear. Givol. There's 2 defenders in the end zone, and the disc, though, sails over the head of John Stubbs, not quite completing that bookends attempt.
Yeah, Gaval will be upset himself there. That one a difficult throw, mostly because of the wind coming from near to far side. Ballooned it up into the air, and a difficult one to execute.
So now Buzz Bullets off to the races, looking to keep that hold. Their second shot on offense so far this point. And all those big fakes results in a small hammer. Gain yards. Far sideline to Matsuno. Up the line, Kichikawa. Back to Matsuno. Inside look, Kichikawa. And approaching the end zone. Look, flick over the top. Two-handed grab by Kamimura. And Buzz Bullets able to maintain that possession and get the score.
Some classic inside breaks coming from the Buzz Bullets. You saw Eli Kearns get cut out there, and what he's doing is, he's looking at his man the whole time and not seeing the disc. And then just in front of the disc, you can't do that because they're going to throw that inside break before the player's free, just leading them out, knowing you're not looking. So got to be a little more aware of that. Here we see the big D from Stubbs. Gets one back against the Japanese years later, but unable to get the bookends, and that was a stall 9 3/4 throw. I think he was planning a big hammer downfield, but the last second saw someone short of him. And again, a creative throw from the Japanese. They used the edge so well.
So tied at 4s in this first half of play. Pool play in the International Club Division. This half of the US Open, the other part, which is a much larger division, is the Youth Club Championships, where you have boys and girls and mixed divisions in U17 and U20. Hanging pull, Schlockett to receive, centers to Marcy. Lindsley, far sideline. He'll continue. Sanchez. And a late bid. Marcy has possession. Davis unguarded. Revolver quickly passing. Schlockett's there in the end zone.
Again, no turn offense from this Revolver O-line. Joel Schlockett loves to get free in the end zone, and we see there a taste of the Japanese defense. Poaching off, peeling to try and make that play. They've had 2 or 3 close layouts so far, but unable to stop this well-oiled machine in the Revolver offense.
And what's difficult is if you make a bid for the block and you don't get it, then when you're playing team defense like that, it really puts you out of position, which Revolver really took advantage of. Great hands and heads-up play, though, from Marcy to roll and then calmly throw the continue.
I like that from Marcy. Like, he could have called a foul there, but he was okay and he's got up and kept playing. I think that's to your advantage, I think 2 Japanese players are on the ground. If you can jump up quickly, you've no mark on you, capitalize on it. And after that bid, Buzz Bullets didn't really have a chance of catching up or getting back in the structure of defense. Rasmussen now, one of the many Santa Cruz alums on this team. Played a lot of time on the O-line, now on the D-line, just to give them more solid D-line offense.
One of the most solid handlers in the division. Buzz Bullets working out of the horizontal stack. Matsuno up the line to Kichikawa. Kichikawa, big swinging throw. And on the second attempt, stays active. The offensive possession is still good for Buzz Bullets. They are in scoring position, it's floating, and Matsuno catches it before going out of bounds. Observer signals in.
Crazy grab by Matsuno. Loving that matchup between him and Cassidy Rasmussen. As we see that hook earlier, they got a get out of jail free card there, being bailed out. Stewart will be annoyed at himself not being able to catch his D. And this one, very close. You see Matsuno, beautiful footwork and awareness. And you talked earlier about the difference to me playing with game advisors and observers. And one thing I like usually is you have a call straight away for those ins and outs with the observers. No time wasting. Somebody's just making a decision. Now in our last game, or a game 2 games ago, a Ring of Fire. Oh no, it was actually the German mixed game. BFG had one called out that was clearly in. We watched the replay. Everyone agreed it was actually in. The observer got it wrong. But that's just human error, and you think even if the player's going to decide that, that's still going to be in there. There's still human error. No matter who decides, you're going to have that. No doubt the observer in question was being non-biased. And I think in many cases it works really well, just having someone in a good position making that decision straight away.
I think so, and it's a third party who, as soon as the disc goes up, he or she is looking down at the line versus what's happening. Lots of hang time on the pole. Marcy starts to catch it, but goes backwards, holds up a little. Friedman picks up instead. He'll reset it to Marcy. And another where the mark is pretty far off. Friedman, big flick huck. That's hanging and full in stride. Justin Lim runs down the catch.
There was a lot of juice on that flick hook. I saw it coming, and it is definitely into the wind, and I was expecting it to slow down and bobble, but it just cut right through it. Taking on a lot of responsibility with that throw, and it was on the money. And as a deep receiver, you want that, especially going upwind. He is delighted. Look as he smiles at that one. That one, perfect.
Lim can see that is headed straight for the breadbasket. Revolver goes up by 1. And the deep looks faring well for both teams so far in this first half. Do you think the wind has played much of a factor so far?
They've been fantastic at judging the wind, putting the right edge on the disc. I think that only throw from Caval was maybe the only one time it didn't account enough for the wind. But both teams really throwing IO throws, putting the top of the disc facing the wind, not allowing it to affect the throw too much. So really smart throws for both sides. It is windy, but when you have the clever offense of both teams, it hasn't affected it too much, thankfully.
Very talented throwers on both sides. Quick looks. Resetting to Matsuno. Finds Kikuchi. And a pick called.
Just one player downfield for the Buzz Bullets right now. Everyone kind of stacked to the side in a bunch. You see where that pick came from.
They'll keep it in the backfield. Kurono to Matsuno. Up the line to Kichikawa. And continues straight up the line. That hangs Kamimura. Once again, that receiver for Buzz Bullets.
Yeah, we're learning more about this team as the game goes on. You see the likes of Kamimura and Kurono being heavily involved in the end zone cutting. And again, there was a poach there. Lewis kind of peeled off the back, but that one, nice low leading pass. the end zone, not being affected by the wind, so able to deal with that poach, just throw around them.
Buzz Bullets still down a break, so they will need to get that back in order to win the game.
And ideally you want to get it back before half, because if it stays as it is, it's like the Revolver might have 2 0 points in a row. They'll definitely be coming out on offense after half time. So you want to get it back now, preferably. And it hasn't really looked like it's coming from Buzz Bullets. The zone at the start definitely took a while for the Revolver team to figure it out, but now they look very comfortable. We'll see it at any stage. Will they go for a more honest match defense?
The wind picking up a little bit since the beginning of the game. There was a rain delay, or really more of a lightning delay this morning that pushed back round start times by 15 minutes. Currently 3:43 local time. Stubbs, lots of room, over to Lindsley. And Davis is there. He's pointing where he wants his receiver. He'll reset it to Stubbs instead. And Lindsley catches it, but a bit of a late bid from Katsuta.
Yeah, almost got the bid on Davis earlier. He's throwing himself around like a big sack of spuds there. Perhaps a little too much contact in that one.
So he is awarded a dangerous play card for that, and he knows, he was acknowledging it was a late bid. So Lindsley will keep it on this near sideline. Friedman swings over, across. Revolver in their end zone set. Lindsley looking for the end zone through the layout. It's caught. Justin Lim again with the goal.
You know, Mata was there getting horizontal, a difficult window to throw into, but again, flawless offense from Revolver. You see this break pass from Schlockett really initiated the play. There's a continuation, not a lot of separation. You think he might get there, but just a little too late.
Still about a hand and a half distance. Justin Lim, though, second goal of the game.
Yeah, another player that's earned his keep on this Revolver offense. And you see the observer there chatting to the Buzz Bullets player, maybe talking about how those cards work.
It's a little bit different in national play versus international play. They can be used as a warning system. The more cards you get, there could be penalties. The red card, certainly the one you want to avoid, and also avoid any of the dangerous or unspirited play that might result from that.
Yeah, not the cards you want to collect. There's no rare ones. It's not a game.
Matsuno with the disc. Over Arakawa. Matsuno through the contact on the near sideline, over the top, really quick movement. Arakawa finding those tiny spaces. Kikuchi swinging across to the far sideline, looking right outside the end zone, and that goal is signaled in. That was Kikuchi.
Kikuchi just walking it in there. Another hold from the Buzz Bullets, and we've been trading non-stop, no turns, very efficient offense for both sides. But you have this one thing in your back of your mind, is Buzz Bullets have already been broken. They got to get that back. They can't afford to trade like this. Revolver will be, maybe, I'm sure their D-line is upset they haven't got more breaks, but they're in a more comfortable position.
It's amazing, 2 turnovers in the whole game so far, period.
Yeah, this is what high-level Ultimate looks like at its best. And again, the wind is strong. There's a strong cross field going near to far side. And we've seen Japanese teams struggle with a really, really strong wind. If you rewind the clock back to 2012 in their home turf in the World Ultimate Gust Championship, they lost the quarterfinal to Sweden in crazy wind. I mean, insane wind. And what the Swedish players did, they just made a 5-person monster cup. A lot of those players well up in the 6'6" range and just crushed the Japanese team on that alone. But this, a win that if you're a top player, you can still throw to it. I think there's actually a point where this is a good win for Buzz Bullets because they're good at the short play. If you can still play offense, if it's not that strong of a win, they're going to do well because they have very crisp, clean passes.
So Revolver with the opportunity to take half if they can convert. Marcy, that center handler. Now Lindsley, near sideline, underneath to Friedman. Have more of a straight match defense from Revolver. That's floating and goes over the head of Stubbs. This is the chance for Buzz Bullets to get the break they need and take half. A motion to go deep. There's the hammer. It's up in the air, not in, on the line. And a travel called on Miyazaki. He was looking to reset to Kawamata. And on the goal line, Liam, we talked about how Buzz Bullets needed that break in the first half. Here's their chance.
Yeah, this is what many people in Europe would call Galaxy Point. If you're going to get the break back, now is the time. This is a huge moment in the game. You know, it looks like Revolver out. No, we're going to take half and come back out in offense, but now a chance to take the lead, Buzz Bullets, and put it back on serve.
And in the end zone offense, throw overthrown. However, there is a call on the field. Foul called. Additionally, Murata was slow to get up.
To me, I mean, I'm not sure where that foul call is coming from. Definitely not coming from his hands, possibly from his hips.
He was motioning to his right torso side.
You know, it could be one of those that happens maybe a second or two before the throw, and then you try to get a free pass out of it. Let's see what the observer thinks. They're having a discussion about it anyway. And the other observer is signaling to a Japanese player, kind of run over the sideline to maybe chat to someone to get back in the position he was in.
Yes, I think you do have to stay in a stationary place when play has stopped.
Yeah, I know you're allowed maybe sometimes if you're looking to translate something, if you don't speak English, you got to imagine you got to give them that opportunity to maybe relay what's going on to players. And it looks like this call is retracted.
Observer ruled no foul, it looks like.
A forced retraction.
And the disc goes back to Revolver, a chance for them to take half, stay up one break. Stubbs picks up. You have the double cut to the near side. Instead, handler resets. Working underneath. Higgins, lots of yards up the line to Friedman. Now approaching the red zone, faking the hammer. And Higgins will get that score. And on the goal line, Buzz Bullets cannot convert. And Revolver will take half up one break.
A massive turning point in the game. As you said, knocking on the door, that big break to go back on serve. Instead, Revolver keep their lead. They'll be coming back out on offense with a chance to make it a 2-point cushion. I think that was the right call with that foul called by the Japanese player. Observer making the ruling. But 2 incredible performances in the first half from both teams.
So we'll take a short break, and we come back, we'll have a halftime interview where San Francisco Revolver leads Tokyo Buzz Bullets 8-7. Oh, she's right here. So what we've been doing,
yeah. Wait, can I get what the questions are ahead of time?
Sorry. Okay, first tell me your name.
Malika Anderson.
Yes. Okay, and your coach?
I'm a sideline doctor, but the coaches are gone, and so here I am. Yeah.
From
Support. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll talk about first the zone look that Buzz Bullets is bringing out. How did the team kind of adjust to that offensive flow?
Yeah.
Pretty well. And then the We're here at halftime. San Francisco Revolver leads Tokyo Buzz Bullets 8-7. I'm joined by Malika Anderson from the Revolver sideline. Malika, the Buzz Bullets came out with kind of an interesting zone look. What adjustments did the offense need to make to flow through it?
Yeah, we noticed that defense they were throwing was pretty tough. There's a little bit of wind today, so we have to make sure we take a second on our throws, and especially since the team hasn't been together since Worlds, we've been really using our pump fakes to direct the offense. And it's without, some players that are usually on the offense not here, we've made sure to take a second, really cutting towards the person with the disc.
And on the defense side, there's only been one break in the game so far by Revolver. How has the D-line then had to adjust some of their defense to this Buzz Bullets offense?
Yeah, the Buzz Bullets definitely play a different game than we're used to. They're very quick. They like really working the break side. So we've had some little different defenses that we've been doing. We know that they love the break side, so we've been shading a little bit there, maybe trying to force them to throw the open side, and really trying to keep up with their quickness. It's tough, and just trying to muster up the energy, trying to create that from the sideline, and getting the defense really into it.
So going into the second half, what do you think is really a key for Revolver to stay tuned in mentally and then physically?
Yeah, I think we have some really great leaders on the team. Lucas does a great job of pumping up the team. We really got to grind on defense, make them run their game. We have a really deep team, so making sure we use lots of legs on defense, and the offense, really possessing the disc. Everyone has throws in this team, just taking a second, calming down, and using their pump fakes to get open.
Great. Well, good luck in the second half.
Great. Thank you.
Malika Anderson with Revolver. They lead Buzz Bullets 8-7. We'll be right back.
Cool.
Good job. Thanks for hanging in there with the hanging thing. An exciting first half of Ultimate. San Francisco Revolver, the reigning world champs and reigning US champs, versus Tokyo Buzz Bullets, who have been world champs and national champs. Emmy Fitzgerald with Liam Grant. And Liam, we've seen some very disciplined play on both sides of the disc so far.
Yeah, it's been stellar offense from both sides. Just that one break costing the Buzz Bullets. It could cost them quite a lot. Revolver will have the opportunity to extend the lead to 2. Been some great plays. This was an opportunity they had to break the Buzz Bullets, but threw it away. So they had 2 opportunities to get a break back, but unable to convert them.
3 turnovers so far in the first half total. As you can see, Stubbs with that great D, and the trailing grab from Buzz Bullets. Not willing to give up anything. Matsuno showing why he is considered one of the best in the world. But the joyful elation of getting open in the end zone. Revolver will get the disc to start the second half. So Liam, to your point, that is an opportunity to go up by 2. Kind of a, sometimes called a double break.
Yeah, I've heard the expression before. What I thought was really cool during halftime there was the field was flooded with kids throwing. A lot of people who are competing tomorrow coming today just to watch this high-level Ultimate. And a lot of them sporting some of the apparel, a lot of them buying clothes. This is a big deal for them, a big event. Want to get something to remember it. And it's just really cool. I don't think this would have happened in the past, that you'd have the best players in the world alongside some of the best high schoolers in the world. But yeah, a huge opportunity for them, and they're enjoying this, as am I.
We have quite the crowd gathering on the sideline here at the National Sports Complex in Blaine, Minnesota, about 40 minutes outside of Minneapolis. A windy day, but both teams using the wind to their advantage. You hear the term thrower's wind, and you see that on display in this game, where the wind hasn't been as much of a detriment as an extra weapon to push it a little farther as that pull goes up. Stubbs to Marcy. Revolver so far will look sometimes over the top at a hammer. Instead, they're working it closely underneath. Marcy to Lindsley, finding up to Sanchez. Stubbs to Lim. See some team defense from Buzz Bullets, forcing a lot of passes, precision throw from Lindsley. And there's the hammer, breaks open, continues to Davis. And Revolver showing so much patience and breaking it open when they need to.
Yeah, carving up that zone like a Christmas turkey. Just what they were doing before half. They continue the momentum into the second half. Now have a 2-point lead. See Davis there just parked in the back of the end zone. It's like, I trust my team to make the difficult shot, get free, and I'm there for the next pass. I'm planning to be there in 2 passes time, leaving space for other players in the middle of the field.
So Revolver spreading the field. They go up with a 2-point lead. That's the largest lead of the game so far. 9-7. Still an opportunity for Buzz Bullets, but they need to break. And we've seen just so much composure from Revolver.
Something cool happening later today. There's an Equity and Diversity Forum happening at 5 p.m. here in Blaine, so check it out if you're in town. People from all over the world will be a part of that forum. notably some of the Black Widows players.
And that's what's so exciting, that they're mostly US teams, but there are a handful of international teams. Some overlap with WCC, but Buzz Bullets making the trip over specifically for US Open. Open underneath. Short continuation throws. Kurono to Matsuno. And tight spaces, but a travel call on Arakawa, so that will come back. Checked back in. Buzz Bullets looking to convert. And through the layout, still caught. Kurono over to Matsuno, and that is a goal.
The high-flying Greg Cohen couldn't shut that one down, doing his best Superman impression there. The man has a heart of a lion. I was talking to him before the game, and he's like, I don't know if I'm that comfortable playing this Japanese team. He says it's not the style he's used to. He's kind of a big fella, likes to play big ball. Comes from a baseball background as well, but as you can see, almost getting the D there, but Buzz Bullet's so accurate with those inside throws, very difficult to get one off them. They hold their offensive point, but they need breaks.
They still need, 2 breaks. They're down by 1. Revolver able to convert in the first half. And it is great, the Youth Club Championship begin tomorrow. Have live stream coverage of that continues on into Monday. The adult division, ICC, goes through Sunday. But this evening, spoke about the Equity and Diversity Forum. Tomorrow, there's a gum ball, a way for female identifying players to join together. Players, coaches, staff, broadcasters even, come together, celebrate women in sport. Back on the field, Revolver catching the pull. Stubbs in the center. Friedman with the disc. Underneath to Sanchez. And what we saw earlier, no mark. So that opens up for an open flick, but the disc pops and Sanchez is able to snag it. That is a score for Revolver.
That one a little spicy for Marcelo Sanchez, but I guess if you have the high mismatch and you have the better position, you can trust that one. Dahlman will get away with it. And Sanchez has been great in this game so far, usually doing that lateral cut as we saw at the start, often initiating as more of a mid player. But I think the Japanese player is recognizing that, trying to force him deep. He obliges and gets the goal.
Marcelo Sanchez, the receiver there, playing very involved, especially in the past 2 offensive possessions for Revolver. It's a game to 15. The time you see on the screen is the time to hard cap. So soft cap is about 20 minutes earlier. And once the soft cap sounds, you add 2 points. And that is what your new hard cap is, of whichever scores ahead. Rasmussen with the pull. It bounces and rolls, immediately put into play. Kikuchi sends a line drive. That disc falls to the ground. Kamimura can't get there. Rasmussen will pick up. A second break chance for Revolver. Liu back to Rasmussen. Rasmussen surveying his options and finds an open white. Thompson, far sideline to Cox. Thompson to Stewart. And the break is so soon, but a hand block on the mark gives the disc back to Buzz Bullets, and that's floating in the air. Thompson snags it back. Liu with the disc inside of half field. Revolver back, advancing towards the goal line.
3 turnovers in this point so far, Emmy, the messiest by a long shot. A great filthy hand block followed by a wayward hammer as we see there. Now 2 turnovers apiece. Don't know what's going on here. That's pretty much as happened in the rest of the game.
See Revolver anxious to get the break back, but Buzz Bullets with the hand block, but then a little bit errant of a throw, the wind catching it that time. So they'll check it in on the far sideline, immediately trying to get it to the middle. Matsuno keeping on the far sideline. Kurono over to Kikuchi. And Furukato looking for the end zone, and White, I don't know if he got a hand on it or not, but it was enough that it could not complete to Kamimura.
Yeah, enormous defensive play there. Nathan White, not a man you want to try and throw around. He definitely got a touch to it. Looking very majestic, soaring through the air. And again, that is a 3rd turnover for Buzz Bullets on this point. They can't afford to be playing like this.
Rasmussen with the disc. Trying to get the first throw, count rising. He'll reset it to Liu. And overthrown. Another shot for Buzz Bullets. This is an offensive hold and a timeout called, wisely called here, turning into a bit of the Wild West here with all the turnovers back and forth.
Yeah, surprising point from both teams. Not savoring the disc, which they've done throughout the whole entire game, except for this point. If you're tuning into us on social media, be sure to comment, let you know how you're feeling, let everyone know where you're from, who you're cheering for. You can also follow the event using the hashtag US Open Champs in all caps. I don't have internet or phone or very little, so if you want to contact me, get your nearest pigeon or perhaps a telegraph. While Emmy Fitzgerald here will be tuning in, as always, in social media. We see some
tweet a question. I'm at Emmy Fitz, EMIFITZ. As we look at the story of this point, turnovers by both teams. Throwing through a lot of players. Buzz Bullets so far with that possession.
just outside the end zone now. It looks like they're setting up in a horizontal stack, which you'd rarely see North American teams doing this close to the end zone. And it looks like the Revolver players are staying honest on their marks. They like to play hard, honest defense.
And with that pass, the timeout proves fruitful for Tokyo. Matsuno gets the catch, and Buzz Bullets registers their 9th goal, staves off the Revolver break.
Matsuno getting his 2nd goal, again beating Rasmussen in the front corner of the end zone. A tough battle for him, but good spirit between the two players, having a little clap and respect shown. Now on the ground, getting a little foot massage there. I don't know if he's going to be charged for that.
Matsuno will take what he needs, removes the shoe, and Buzz Bullets came with a bigger roster than what you might consider for an international team, but additionally, they have several support staff here. You can see Kazumi Suga is there giving the foot massage. He is one of 6 staff that have come for the Buzz Bullets. Of course, Buzz Bullets they're all employees of the same company, Bunka Shutters, in Tokyo. And it began informally among the employees of Bunka Shutters in 1988, and then registered officially as a team in 1995. Most of these young youth players watching were not even a glimmer in their parents' eye in 1988.
Either was I mean. Just putting it out there.
I was firmly on planet Earth in 1988. Had already been to Japan once. Revolver, also competing in Japan, World Club Championships. On offense, Stubbs puts up the backhand. Schlockett is uncovered, but a last-minute bid attempt is called a foul.
I think there might have been a call earlier in the play as well. We see how this one pans out.
Let's take another look. Nice backhand from Stubbs. And really, as you see Takahashi closing in. What's your ruling, Liam?
Yeah, it's amazing watching Schlockett there as a stampede of Japanese players coming towards him. To me, it maybe looked like a Japanese player got a clean touch in it, but very close to call. Looks like they've decided that it will stay with Schlockett.
Disc back in play, and now Revolver calls a timeout.
Yeah, that one not so much because of the messy play or anything else, but I think Schlockett is, my team is all behind me. I'm going to be coming in and stall one. Let's get them in the end zone. We can set up our end zone play. I think it was more of a positional timeout, if anything.
Wise call. The timeout is certainly there.
Now, as a commentator, I don't like to do predictions, but I have a feeling Schlockett is going to dish it off very quickly and go get the goal himself. It's what he likes to do. I've seen him do quite a lot. When he's in that small space and can play give-go offense, he is unstoppable. Probably the best in the world at that. And that's why he racks up all the goals for this Revolver team. You don't see him making the huge play that often, having to take on the big throws. They just grind it up to the end zone. He takes over and pounds in the goals. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for the reset straight away and try and catch them off guard, get that give-go. Buzz Bullets very good at switching in that position, so I'd like to see him do that. That's probably the best way to shut down that option.
And 2 distinct systems of Ultimate, but 2 very strong systems of Ultimate with a variety of players, very strange. Schlockett to Lindsley, but Lindsley has a toe in the end zone. Buzz Bullets ruling in.
Yeah, that one a bit soft. Lindsay just ran from the front of the stack straight towards the disc and got free. Well, maybe a little disappointed with themselves in that one.
The Revolver up 2. They lead 11-9 in this first day of pool play, and the only day of pool play. For Revolver, they'll have an interesting season where it begins in this late spring, but then you have a peak at WUCC, but then another peak really at regionals to qualify for US Nationals, but then Nationals itself, which is celebrating its 50th anniversary in their home state on the other side of the state in San Diego.
Yeah, I'll be making the short trip down Highway 1. Might start off with some big sights there. Big Sur, Santa Cruz, LA along the way. It's a beautiful drive.
A long drive.
I've done all of Highway 1, would you know that? In my van, $1,000 van, drove all Highway 1. Got to bump into some of these stellar Californian players.
I got sick in my parents' rental car, my grandparents' rental car, driving down Highway 1 as a child. Buzz Bullets back on offense. Working it on the near sideline, or far sideline rather, with their continuations. Kichikawa resetting to Kuruno. Keeping it in the center of the field, then to that far side. Inside backhand, and the wind just takes it. Matsuno keeps the possession. However, there is a call on the field.
Seemed like everyone stopped playing except for Matsuno. I think there's a violation being called. I think it's going to stay with Matsuno more than likely. That one, just an absolute blade being blown across the field like a sailboat.
Matsuno checks the disc back in. On the goal line. The offensive hold, and Liu, through coverage, intercepts.
Great awareness from Liu. Chose the moment to poach off. He's been very tight otherwise in the game. Saw the stall count was getting high and made that big play.
So he's in the center handler spot. Throwing into small spaces, Eli Kearns over to Childs Walker. Inside, John Stubbs. You can see all the distance between the thrower and the mark. And no pick called. Spear with the disc. Back to Stubbs. Now Revolver in their end zone offense. This is a break for Revolver if they can convert. Buzz Bullets do a great job with the switches and coming into the space.
We saw a goal being shot there by Eli Kearns, but as that happened, Greg Cohen came across, got free. Matsuno poached off to cover him and tripped up Cohen. But the goal is going to stand nonetheless. Didn't really affect the play. Hopefully Cohen is okay to continue.
And Buzz Bullets have received 2 TMF blue cards. What an interception, though, from Byron Liu to force that turn. How about the patience from the Revolver end zone offense, Liam?
Yeah, very patient. And although Cohen didn't get the goal there, he actually dragged 2 Japanese players away from him into very close proximity, and that allowed Kearns to get free. Matsuno saw that if he didn't cover Cohen, that's where the goal was coming from. So instead it's Kearns who gets on the scoreboard, and that is the second break of the game. 3-point lead for Revolver.
So game to 15. And we talked about the different bids. If the Buzz Bullets get a 3rd team misconduct foul with dangerous play, then there are yardage penalties. That could be a reverse brick, some hefty consequences, but the regulations in place to promote safe play for both teams. Rasmussen pulls. A lot of float. Revolver counting the passes. Kamimura with the disc. Into space. Will it stay in bounds? It will. A leap over the top. Furukado. But it looked like maybe he clipped the Revolver defender jumping over.
Yeah, playing a game of leapfrog with Kevin Cox there. Almost got a few yards gains out of it. Well, he did get a few yards out of it, but might have cost him his ankle.
It looked like he made the jump clear and then landed a little bit shaky. Back in play, off the line, Kudono. Buzz Bullets swinging to the far side of the field. Matsuno stays in bounds. center it, gain yards. Pick called. Rasmussen was face guarding Matsuno earlier, but now playing a more traditional force underneath.
I think that's a wise decision. You just want to see if the disc goes up in those small spaces. You're not going to be able to cover him anywhere, shut down all the unders, so might as well. Oh!
What a bid from Nick Stewart to get the block. Rasmussen captaining this D-line offense to try and get another break. For Stewart, he sees one fly up in the air. That's his bread and butter.
Yeah, he had one earlier that was macked and caught by someone else, but made sure of that one. The big paw getting there, swiping it out of the sky.
Hammer over the top. It's floating and we're waiting. Yes, we do have a goal. Kevin Cox with that reception for another break for Revolver.
Yeah, starting to pull away now. That's 2 in a row. Spicy hammer thrown up from Kearns to Cox. Matsuno was there, went up early, couldn't make a play, allowed Cox to have a more casual catch in the front corner of the end zone. And it is windy. It's hard to believe, I'm sure if you're watching the stream, how good the players have played, but that hammer was very difficult.
What a block from Stewart. Forces the turn, and then Cox from behind the shoulder able to make that catch. Revolver is within 2 of taking the game. We talked about Stewart going to college in Minnesota, Carleton, and we've seen players who spent youth or time in college in this area seeming to have some advantage with windy conditions and kind of understanding. However, it also seems like every player throws pretty well in the wind.
Looks like a timeout being called here by Buzz Bullets, trying to stop the bleeding. The margin getting quite high against the world champions. Gives the Revolver D-line a break as well.
And we've seen a fairly similar Revolver D-line so far. See Byron Liu. We were talking about his bleach blonde hair. So Revolver on their social media said if they got 100 retweets that Byron would dye his hair, bleach it for Worlds. And of course, the internet answered. He got that. Just kept it rocking.
I wonder what he'd do for 1,000 retweets. Let's ask him. Let's see if we can.
Let's ask. So, Pool A so far going to seed.
Knockwell, Pony getting a win against Buzz Bullets. Yeah, going to seed in this game, but I think that is the pool of death, although there's only 2 pools, so I guess the other one's the pool of life. I'm not so sure. But yeah, Pony getting an upset there, and this could be make or break for Buzz Bullets. If they lose this one, they'll have to hope for some kind of 3-way tie to get them back into bracket play.
So they are back on offense. Revolver now in a bit of a positional junk look. Buzz Bullets answering with a hammer of their own. That is down. Incomplete, accurate, but too low. Stubbs, the disc, center field. His sister India on the live stream the round before, the Atlanta Ozone. And through the hands, incomplete. Another shot for Buzz Bullets, but that's flying in the air. Liu bats it to the ground. And the second time, Buzz Bullets off of a turn, just a little too quickly. So it pops up.
Liu bails Leo Gaval out of that one. Another unforced error from him. Now you have Kearns going deep.
They're looking straight for the end zone. Catches, and the layout follow through. Eli Kearns gets that goal, and another break for Revolver.
And the wheels have come off this Buzz Bullets team. They were so solid for 80% of the game. And now just looking a little shaky. And again, Matsuno being caught out. A very good throw upwind. And there, Kearns is choosing to go with 2 hands and lay out just to be sure. Always a good thing to go do when the camera's pointed at you as well.
You never want to be a gif of the internet. Or sometimes you do, but for good things, right?
Have you ever been gift, Emmy?
I don't even want to say if I have or not. No reason to start now, but the internet is a kind and cruel place. And you know that you're doing something right if you get a little bit of both, I think. So Revolver, in a game point scenario, if they can get a break, so far they have been able to get more breaks than they did in the first half. There was only 1 break. Buzz Bullets have had the opportunity to multiple times, have failed to convert.
Revolver going on a 7-2 run. We saw teams tied at 7-7. Buzz Bullets have the disc. Now the score is 9-14 in favor of Revolver.
Matsuno over to Takano. Quick movement from Buzz Bullets. Seeing more control on their throws. Revolver moving out of their zone into person match. See the vertical on Stewart trying to prevent the upfield. Kamimura now on the goal line. Kichikawa continues over to Arakawa, and the Buzz Bullets get the hold that they've needed.
And that looked like a simple throw, but it was downwind into space, had to put a lot of float in it, and it was actually exquisite. It looked like a simple skill, but the Japanese player wasn't really that free in the end zone, just kind of led him out to space.
So Buzz Bullets stay alive. They are down 14-10. Revolver will get the disc and be on offense.
And we saw on that point Revolver coming out in a junky look at the very start, and then they shouted fire as their transition to a person defense. And a big debate now in the game. I think everyone's happy we're using gender neutral terms for that kind of single coverage defense. But then the debate comes what you say on the sideline, because you're not going to say single coverage shouting it. Again, person's a bit of a mouthful. I've been saying match for the majority of my life.
We have a discussion in the DFW area where I'm from. Person versus match or mark or one-on-one. I guess write in the comments what you think. I'm genuinely curious.
Yeah, I think I've heard a lot of teams say the word fire. You maybe want a monosyllabic word on the sideline that you can shout and is easily heard and interpreted.
I've said find your person for a really long time, even before, I don't want to say, oh, I did
before
this
Ultimate?
before
Is that just in life in general?
And
or?
Bounced off of the hands. Buzz Bullets back on offense. If they can maintain possession, they will get a break. Revolver needing to get the disc back to seal up the game. Quick passes from Buzz Bullets. They've been here before, could not convert. This time, the disc sails overhead. The team photographer ends up catching the disc out of bounds.
So close to their first break of the game, coming at game point to Revolver. Really wanted them to get that one, just so they know they can break this Revolver O-line.
Marcy will trot that back up. Underneath, Friedman. Davis is headed to the end zone. He's got the wheels. The disc is floating, and Davis, still in stride, will catch the game point for Revolver.
And they'll win this one down to the athleticism of Davis. And before that throw went up, he had no separation. There was no separation, but we knew the separation was coming. I was able to track that one down with incredible speed. You see his beautiful form in his run, that kind of forward lean he keeps as he accelerates.
The closing final 3 or 4 steps really made the difference. And part of, Liam, what you discussed about moving Davis over to the O-line for these types of situations, San Francisco Revolver will take Tokyo Buzz Bullets. These Buzz Bullets are in their inaugural tournament return after a year off in this pool play at the US Open.
Now with a mountain to climb, Buzz Bullets, 2 losses. There's no straightforward way into the semis now. It's no longer in their hands. If they win the rest of their games, they might find themselves in a 3-way tie, but they're hoping someone can do them a favor, perhaps against Pony. A very, very difficult group. I'd be very surprised if there wasn't a 3-way tie somewhere in this group.
So such clean offense from both teams, really until that